Okay, I'm nervous to make this video. I'll tell you why. My name's Drew Monson. That's not why. In a way it is though. I'm nervous because I'm me. What's wrong? You know, I'm Drew Monson. That makes sense. Just kidding. This is my second channel where I just kind of talk. I want to really try and make a chill video today. I'm in a maybe more honest than usual mood. Maybe I'll say things that I regret saying. Maybe I won't say anything at all. I have kind of an interesting story about YouTubers and just like feeling jealousy and then being scared. I'm scared that I upset some people a few months ago, and I'll get into that. But I got out like a crafting. I got out a wooden heart, old magazines, jumbo glue stick, hot pink sizzies. You know what's about to happen. Mommy's collaging. Why do I keep referring to myself as mommy? And part of me is like, do I want a big pregnant belly? Is that like deep down in my belly, like a want for me? Because how many times can I go, mommy wants mac and cheese, before it's like, do you want to get pregnant? I mean, I don't know. I can't, but I can want to. But anyway, I keep seeing videos of people multitasking, and I realize I never do that. Like, every video is called like, painting my walls while talking about YouTube drama, curling my hair while talking about my future and my first boyfriend, and it'll literally be someone just chilling out in a bathroom, just like doing their makeup like, I'm hungry. You know what? No, I'm not hungry. I'm cold. And I'm like, I would have edited that out, but I respect you so much for just like being yourself, and I want to be myself, but I also feel this pressure to like talk. So I guess I'm, as always with this channel, asking you specifically for your permission to be boring, and if in 12 minutes I just kind of go like, well, I guess I did that just now, so you're here. If you don't like it, there's the door. There literally is a door right there, because I'm in a walk-in closet with the door closed, and I'm realizing as I say that that's like a very vulnerable position. I'm just alone. I shouldn't be thinking about intruders while making a vlog. That's the first rule of vlogging. But if someone were to waltz in here, they'd have the power position. Like, they could corner me. I shouldn't be thinking about intruders cornering me in a walk-in closet while I'm vlogging, but man, that would be a good title though. I got attacked while vlogging, not clickbait. Not clickbait, I'm gonna start cutting. Not clickbait is like the safe word of YouTube. You ever see a video called, like, you know, my friend died, no one would say that. My friend died, not clickbait. God, I hope nobody clickbaits me when I die. Of course they're going to. I'm just famous enough, not very famous, but just famous enough that somebody's gonna clickbait me when I die. That should be my new, like, blues song. Please don't clickbait me when I die. Do. Anyway, so here's the jealousy thing. When I wanted to make a video today, I started, this is kind of embarrassing, but I'm cutting out like a blue rocky thing. I went to, sometimes I do this, and maybe it sounds like I'm ripping people off, but just to get myself thinking, I'll go to like a popular YouTuber's page. So I went to Danny Gonzalez's YouTube channel. Do you know who this guy is? You heard of this guy? This kid? Just doing characters. But he's very popular. My sister shows me his videos. Fact wasn't really needed, but you know, he's like a famous guy. He's got, you know, 2 million views a video or something, and I start looking, and number one thing that I've realized about people more popular than me now is every video is like between 15 and 20 minutes. This might be something that you don't care about at all. How are you, by the way? Seriously? Oh my god. Oh yeah, just mail it to me. I can't believe you made me a cake. And it's not poisoned. That's perfect. No, because I actually, yeah, I used to like poison. But everyone's videos are like really short, and mine are really long. Everyone's videos have, not everyone, but like a lot of them have really slick editing, even when they are casual. You know when it like zooms in on their face, and then it like has a little alien pops in the corner, and it's like, bzzz, and it's like, I don't think that I should be doing this, and it's like, bow, wow, 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 wow. And it makes, I mean, I can't lie, it's very stimulating. And I mean, his videos weren't exactly like that. But I had this moment where I'm looking at his channel, I'm looking at the amount of views, and I'm thinking, you know, this guy seems like a nice guy. I started watching one of them. I've never met him before, but it was like, you know, it was a very good video, and it was kind of making me laugh. And then the jealousy sets in. It always does. And I don't like that part of myself. Like, I feel like I'm a nice person most of the time. I was gonna say some of the time, but like whenever somebody calls me nice, my first thought is like, you should see the inside of my brain when something good happens to somebody else, you know, because, okay, first things first, it's already looking very mediocre, but this is art therapy. It's not about winning a contest. That being said, I could see this winning an Oscar. Everyone's like, what? Have I made that joke already? I think I did. Anyway, I start feeling like I want to be him. And I shouldn't say that while I'm holding hot pink scissors. I just wanted to be you. The end of my horror movie about... No, don't joke. I was making a joke. Okay. So, and then it got me thinking, because what happened was, you know, I left YouTube like the beginning of 2020, and I was already feeling like I was just depressed, and I was making bad decisions, and things just, I didn't know how to, okay, I've got, I can't decide if I should cut out the princess on the shoe. This is Cinderella. I think I'll do her. You know what? You know what, Cinderella? It's my time to shine. And I've got the power now. When I was 7 years old and I saw your movie in theaters, I felt like you. I just wanted to be you. But now, I've got the scissors. So, when I left YouTube in like January 2020 or something, you know, then it was bad timing, because then the pandemic starts and I'm like, I didn't know how to come back. It was like that moment where, you know, when it first started and it didn't even make sense to not mention it. Like, it was, every conversation you had to begin with, so, you know how the entire world is changing and it seems like it will always be changed and we're like really scared. And I didn't really know how to make that video, and I was also just so depressed and just like isolated, and I really couldn't leave my house. Like I would shake when I like walked to the store. It was really scary. And I was having horrible panic attacks every day and just like pacing around and like moving. I would have these ones where I just like was fidgeting and it was like I was doing a dance. Like if you saw video footage of me having a panic attack in March 2020, you'd think it was a dance tutorial. But when I left YouTube and then came back, I guess it was like 14 months later, it was this thing where I had sort of, you know, disconnected completely from the website. And when I came back, it was different a little bit. It was like I woke up out of a coma, like Rebel Wilson. If you don't know what I mean, Rebel Wilson has... Stop going on tangents. Rebel Wilson has a new Netflix movie. The trailer just dropped. This is not sponsored by Rebel Wilson's new Netflix movie, and I'll prove it right now because it looks like a hunk. It looks like a dirty hunk of garbage. But anyway, I kind of felt like that, where I was like, okay, what is this? Like, I don't recognize this. It was all, and what happened was it was all commentary. And I feel like when I started YouTube, it was sort of like, if you look at the first, I guess you could find them now, like the first people that got big on YouTube in like, you know, 2007, it was literally just people kind of sitting there, and the charm, it was like everyone was so excited that there was a way to make a little TV show from your house, and that was kind of it. And someone would just, like Andy Milonakis, if you don't know who that is, like, he literally got like a TV show basically because he like sat in front of his webcam with a guitar and was like blah blah blah, and Jimmy Kimmel was like, that's my boy, you know, let's call up MTV. And like, I think he's very funny, and he did, but I'm just saying, like, there wasn't as much needed. Great, now Andy Milonakis is angry at me. I did meet him once. He was nice. Yeah, it just felt like when I started, you didn't really have to add something else to it, and I feel like the entire internet has molded into this thing where I've kind of talked about this before, but you have to be commenting on the internet while you're on the internet, or people are sort of just like, what else is there? Like, you know, TikToks there. Someone was showing me one the other day. It was like Paul Dano. He's, you know, in the new Batman movie, and it was like, they were like, oh, did you see this TikTok about Paul Dano? And it was a clip of Paul Dano in the corner. And it was a guy reacting to Paul Dano, but then it literally was like, then there was text over the screen, and I was like, why don't you just show me the video of Paul Dano? Like, why do I need all of this stuff? Like, I can't do it. And I think that through this past year, I've dealt with sort of a frustration through that. And looking back, I don't know if I've always express that in the right way, you know, because I made this video on my main channel, and I think it's a good video, like, I don't know, in October or something, called like the worst types of YouTubers, where I was sort of like vaguely going in on like commentary YouTubers and why do you talk about bad Netflix movies, and you know, like, I'll admit it, like, it was sort of about these guys that I think are funny. But then what happened was, and I wasn't actually talking about, like, okay, there's a guy named Drew Gooden who I think is like really funny, and like I watched one of his videos on a night like last year where I was having like a bad night, and it was him and either his fiance or his wife talking, and like it was very sweet, and he had like a very good cadence, and but then you know, the jealousy kind of sets in, and I feel like this person is doing something that I don't know how to do. You know, it's like, you ever have like jealousy of somebody, but you want their life, but you also don't want to do anything to get it. Like, you'd be like, oh my god, I want to be like you. Well, I mean, first things first, you gotta get up every morning, and I'm like, I'm done. No, you gotta get up every morning. I don't want to be, actually, never mind. Well, I have orange, no, I'm not having orange juice, sir. I don't want to be you anymore. Having orange juice. Okay, this is what we got so far. But, I was kind of feeling like that about it, and then, so I kind of like kept referencing it. Like, if you've noticed in my videos in the past like few months, like there's a lot of talk about like, oh, I wish maybe I should just be one, and I feel like I'm getting kind of petty. Like, I feel like my mean side is kind of showing, and I guess that I don't think that the criticism is like unwarranted, and I think that there should be somebody, you know, on YouTube who is semi-popular and sort of talking about what is popular, because it's like there's this thing where there's YouTubers who comment on the bad YouTubers, but then I guess my logic was like, there's nobody who comments on the people who comment on the, you know what I mean? So I was like, I want to be that person who kind of will like, well, what is this? But then, like a few months ago, I'm looking through my old videos, because sometimes I just want to see the comment, like the comments make me happy, like when I don't want to get into too much of an ego trip, and sometimes it's like, okay, like I'm not the Messiah, like Jesus, I think that sometimes maybe this sounds kind of rude, but I'll see a nice comment about myself where I'm like, it's so nice that I'm like, you got the wrong guy. Like, I really think that if you met me, you'd immediately go, oh, I mean, he's cool, but yeah, that's, I guess I got a little mixed up here. But I was going through my old videos, and it's nice because I don't go through all the comments, but just the top ones, you know, the one, it's never like, you're ugly in a confusing way, 500 thumbs up. Like, it's always a pretty sweet thing at the top. And one of the top comments on one of my last videos was from Drew Gooden. I mean, it was from like a video in 2018 or something, and immediately I was like, oh no, like I guess maybe I saw that at the time and didn't register it, but and then I look and like maybe he was following me or another one of like the commentary guys, and then I'm like, oh god, I'm picturing, I mean, maybe I'm giving myself too much power, but I'm picturing like one of them, you know, stumbling being like, oh, you know, Drew Monson, he's a YouTuber too, and then I'm like, you know what kind of videos suck? And they're like, here it comes, and it's like, and they're like, wait a second. So then I felt kind of, this isn't like an apology video, but I feel kind of like it mixed me up a little bit because, you know, it's sort of a conflict of, one second. Sorry, or I'm not sorry, because you nothing happened for you. I turned off the camera and ate some popcorn because mommy's hungry. I'm doing it again. Great, now I'm imagining that I got pregnant, but actually it's just a bag of movie theater butter. Great, once again, I'm pregnant with popcorn. No, what I was going to say is there's sort of a conflict where I want to like criticize the platform, because like I care about YouTube, but I don't want to make anybody upset, and like I want to have friends, I want people to like me, and I don't know, like I feel sometimes like I'm just a grump. Like I worry that I'm getting older and I'm just turning into a grump. You know, like I don't want to be one of those people who's like, I mean I kind of am sometimes, it's like, friends or me sometimes, it's like we start talking about, oh, you know, kids today. I mean, I don't want to sound like one of those kids today people, but anytime that you go, I don't want to sound like, it's because you're sounding like that. You know, I think I've said that before, but it's like anytime that somebody goes, and I don't want to be like a, it's because they're being like a, like that's just what you do. And you wanna ignore the fact that you're sort of getting older, and it's okay. It's okay to get closer to 30. This is me talking to myself right now. But it seems silly sometimes, you know, I'll hear friends be like, you know, going in on like the 14-year-olds of today. And the thing about 14-year-olds is they're 14, you know, and they're really just using the tools that I mean everybody has like left. Like if 14-year-olds are seeing mental illness the wrong way, that's probably because of the things that we said on Tumblr 10 years ago. They're just picking up the scraps. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, I think that just to give a little bit of context and not to dig myself in a deeper hole, I just started to feel like, you know, everything seemed like it was making fun of something, and I'm not like a toxically positive person, like I'm really not. I could hear like, you know, a kid laughing outside at the park, and my friend will be like, oh, that's so sweet, I wish I was young, and I'll be like, I mean, he's 9 and that's noise pollution. But you know, I feel like, especially when I like go on Twitter, it's like everybody, it's like there's these cliques now where every clique is people like this are like that, and people like this, and then the people like this are like, no, people like this, and it feels like everybody is like joining a side, and everything is sort of like a face-off with like who's cringe, and I want more just like someone going, I made a short film, or you know, here's me making a collage, and once again talking about, I guess again I'm sort of doing it, but I don't know what else could I talk about, because that's basically the story, is that I was afraid, and I guess this is my I mean, don't send this to anybody. Maybe they'll end up seeing this. I hope I didn't hurt anybody's feelings, and am I being a coward right now? Because it's like if you criticize something and then back down, it's like when you go, oh, did you see that movie? It sucked. And then your friend goes, I liked it. He goes, sucked as in I'm stupid, and that's why I think it sucks. But, you know, if Drew Gooden, I think that I just want to be Drew Gooden. Like, deep down. That's probably the most vulnerable thing I'll ever say on YouTube, but it's like, when I see, you know, a YouTuber who has like a house and like a stable relationship, and I think about myself just like inside of an apartment all day, literally like I'll just lay down on my stomach for like 45 minutes and just go, I can't do this. And then there is a part of me that's like, oh, there's like, I bet the YouTubers who get 10 million views a video don't lay down on their stomachs and say that they can't do it. I bet they like go to dinner with their wife. Why can't I go to dinner with my wife? Does anybody want to marry me just so we can go to dinner? How about Chili's? Anyway, I wrote down some other stuff. Making headway with this, you know. But, oh, you know what? I've been thinking just in general, too, about my dysfunction, but I want to see it in a positive way, because I've been thinking about my lack of boundaries, because my therapist told me, like, I guess it was a few months ago now, and it kind of changed everything for me. I don't know if I'm at the stage yet where I'm actually doing anything about it, but she was like, Drew, you don't, maybe this is like a quote from a book or something. You know when a therapist says something and you're like, is that an original? But she said, you don't know where you start, or you don't know where other people end and you begin, or something like that. And I think about that now because she was talking about how boundaries are also with yourself. And it was I mean, maybe it's like a very obvious concept, but for me, I never really thought of it like that. Like, I always thought of boundaries as like, you know, telling somebody you don't like something, which is sort of like, you know, it is an important thing, but it's also, I think I'm a little bit too comfortable, and then I start like micromanaging, and I'm like, I've found sometimes with like friendships or even family members, they'll kind of have a moment where I'm going, well, this is how I feel, and this hurt my feelings, and they're going, yeah, but you realize I'm just a human, and like, I'm not gonna say the right things all the time, and I'm like, I know, but, okay, you're right, I need to chill out and do a collage, but you know, I think that I can either completely let somebody walk all over me and hurt my feelings, or be a little bit overly critical. But I started thinking about, because of her, she started telling me about, like, you know, what time you go to bed is a boundary with yourself. And that was such a perfect example, because I'm somebody who will stay up until 5 a.m. and just kind of feel bad about it and I don't have, and I'll recognize it in other people, and I think that's sort of what I'm seeing when I see like a more successful YouTuber or somebody with like a stable life, like in any part of my life, where I just go, you have this thing that I don't have, or maybe I didn't learn in my childhood of, like, you pay your bills, you know, do the dishes every day, you don't fall apart, you're not just like in a big pile of yourself. And I feel kind of threatened when I meet people like that, and I think that I sort of reject it, and whenever I perceive people as being more of an adult or more of a person than me, and in my head I'm like very much not, even though maybe someone's watching this like, oh, I thought you were. I don't know if you would think that, but it's sort of the reason I think I end up just kind of isolating, laying on my stomach and going like, I don't know, sometimes I worry that I see the world as like me versus it. You know, it's like, okay, I've got my friends and my family, of course I love them, but at the end of the day, I'm just like holding a stick, like, it's just like, you know, I don't think it's good when I start to tell myself that everybody is annoying. Like, I get in these moods where I'm like, oh, everybody sucks. Like, again, of course I love my friends and of course I love my family, but I hate myself, but I'm also the only one who knows how to do anything. Like, I'm at the grocery store with my cart and I'm just like, really? You're gonna walk a little bit slower than me and ruin my life? Like, it's just grumpiness, you know, and I feel like, anyway, what I was gonna say about boundaries with myself is, I realized that all throughout my life, and this is just kind of the example I was going to use, is staying up late, because I was somebody who, you know, if it was like a school night or something, and I was talking to somebody on the phone, if they wanted to talk to me until 6 a.m. and I just didn't sleep, I would do that. I was somebody who would sort of, as long, I didn't know how to set, and I realize now that there are boundaries, like to say, when somebody goes, oh, you know what, I have work tomorrow. Because I don't know how to do that, because I don't know how to go, hey, I want to hang out until midnight, but I have a doctor's appointment. I'm the person who will go, I'm having fun though. I can reschedule the doctor's appointment. Who cares? I don't feel that sick. I mean, my stomach hurts a little bit and they were gonna give me an ultrasound, but whatever, we're at the arcade, you know? And then in turn, and this is sort of an embarrassing thing, but when somebody isn't the same as me, and when somebody isn't, like my therapist says, doesn't know, you're just kind of enmeshed with people and you start here, but you can hurt my feelings so much that it ruins my day. When somebody has those boundaries and goes, oh, I gotta hang up because I'm going to bed, that's why I feel rejected. Because I'm like, hey, I would stay up all night for you, but somebody else might go, yeah, but that's not how people should be. You know, people shouldn't be so malleable that anybody can just like mold them into, or they will mold themselves for anybody, you know, because people don't really want that. And I think sometimes of my life I've thought that that's like, that being a people pleaser is being nice, you know, and I'm realizing that there's a big difference. You know, there's a big, doing anything for anyone, and it's not the same as like, as being empathetic, you know, because it's fear-based. And people can tell when you're kind of scared of them. And I can feel it when somebody's like that with me, and I know when I'm doing it with somebody else, where you're just giving off that vibe of like, you could ruin my day right now. And like, or you could make it amazing. And you're not saying it, but there's like a look in your eyes that like conveys, you know, I'm the type of person who, I don't know, maybe you will not relate to this and just sort of go, oh God. But I'm the type of person who, have you ever felt yourself like, you know, be afraid that Okay, I tried to make one last night. There's like 2 things going on here. But being afraid that somebody is mad at you because they like didn't text you back, and there's really no, like the last thing that you said to them could have literally been like, I just want you to do well in life, and they don't reply, and I'm like, what, you know what, they think I'm being fake. And you know what, maybe they're right. Maybe I don't want, like, what's wrong with me? And then they don't reply for like a few hours, and then maybe I've talked about this before, but it's scary how I'll feel myself the moment when that person does reply, this wave comes over me where it's like, I now have permission to live my life. Like I can now just, oh great, I can be a person again. I'm like, I was sitting here not feeling good, and oh goody, but it's like, that's not happy. Like I'll feel this thing that kind of feels like happiness, but really it's just the relief. It's the relief that whoever in that moment or on that day, and it could literally be my grandma. Like my grandma will text me, you know, okay sometimes, and I'm like, why didn't you put an exclamation point? But it's like, that's just what grandmas do. I feel like maybe I've gone over all this stuff before, but you know, jealousy is like, I think it plays into that too, because I also feel jealous of people that I like and that I care about, and like, you know, having kind of a resentment and not knowing what to do with it and not even wanting to say it, because it's like, I guess it's sort of cognitive dissonance, right? Like loving your friend and then something goes really well for them and you kind of have this feeling of like, I wish that was me. I want it to happen to you, but wait, I love my friend, so why aren't I like crying tears of happiness? Why am I crying tears of sadness when they got the job that they wanted? You know, maybe I'm just making myself sound like the worst person ever. And I've been very happy. No, I'm just backpedaling. I actually, you know what? I was joking. I literally, oh, you related to that? Oh my God, I was kidding. No, I feel bad. Oh my God, you're toxic. No, but, I think, I was just thinking about, you know, that whole thing of sitting there and looking at another YouTuber's page and seeing how many views it gets, and the other day I looked at this guy's, I like his podcast, and I messaged him, and then it was, you know, I don't even know if I followed him, but it was in my DMs, like it lights up when there's a story, and he was like at a, you know, Vanity Fair party, and I was like, oh my God, because he replied to my DM saying I liked his podcast, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, this guy's at an Oscar party, he's like hanging out with celebrities. He replied to my message last week. That basically means that I'm friends with this person. That basically means that I'm at the Vanity Fair party. Should I get a publicist? What's happening here? Am I an Oscar winner? But, you know, I was having one of those nights where it's like, you know how you could just be having a great time with yourself? Like, I will make myself, could just be brown rice and turkey, and the turkey just tastes so good, and I'm watching my favorite show, and I feel like the characters are my friends, and my couch is comfortable, and I'm proud of myself for buying it, and then I open my phone, and I look at this guy's Instagram story, and he's doing something and all of a sudden I'm like, this couch sucks. Brown rice and turkey, what am I, a loser? This TV show, this is pathetic. I think I'm friends with the character, and everything flips, and I'm just like, those are the moments where I want to throw my phone into the ocean. But then I wonder, if I didn't have a phone, would I really be that much more healthy? But you know what? I probably would. I feel like this video, like a lot of my videos, I'm on a roll right now. If you're in the comments, tell people, what is this, like a half an hour in? He gets into it in a half an hour. That's fear-based. That's me being scared that someone's just going to see the bad part of this video and miss the good part. But all I should care about is you, because you're the one who is watching right now. How long has this been? I don't know. I'm selling this on Etsy for $800,000. I'd like to retire. No, I actually have been enjoying making videos, but man, my OCD or whatever it is, it makes it tough. And I understand why it could seem kind of ridiculous to like complain about making YouTube videos when people have to, you know, work in a farm and like almost get heat stroke every day. But I can feel a lot of exhaustion from the pressure of wanting to be perfect and not letting yourself not be perfect, and doing things over and over again to the point where you just want to cry. I mean, it reminds me of when, like in math when I was a kid, all of my I don't know if I've said this before, all of my homework, my mom still talks about, like, I don't know why she still talks about this, but you could see the tear marks on my homework, like the math paper, the worksheet, like you could see where I erased it, so, and I would try, and there was rips and it was a little bit wet because I would get so upset that I would sit down and go, I'm gonna, I picture myself while in the car, I'm gonna go home and do my math homework and it's gonna work out and I'm gonna feel like a smart boy, and then I'd start and it wouldn't, what I pictured wouldn't happen, and I would get so upset. And that's kind of how I feel making videos sometimes, is like, I will walk around, like I'll walk to Walmart and I'll have all these ideas and it's, oh my gosh, this is gonna be great, and I'm kind of muttering to myself like things I want to say in a video, and then I realize I'm walking around Walmart muttering to myself, and then I realize the guy next to me at Walmart is doing the same thing, and we give each other that knowing glance of just muttering at Walmart, right buddy? But then I'll sit here, and the second I start, it's like I forget everything. I forget when I'm imagining myself do it. I forget that when I actually do it, that anxiety will start, that pressure will start. And you can probably tell if you watch these videos, like, it takes a while for me to ease into it. But I'm glad that at least I can at some point. But I guess I'm gonna upload this video. I don't really... By the way, I walked to Walmart, that's why I referenced that, yesterday without my phone. I felt so relaxed and chill. Like, I walked to Walmart without my phone and I was glad. And I know that seems crazy to be surprised by, but do you ever feel like so chilled out that you're like, am I on something? Like, wait, like, did somebody spike? Like, it's crazy how weirdly anxious I can be, to the point where when I feel relaxed, I get scared because I'm like, this almost feels like wrong. Like, this feels like anxiety because I'm like, wait, I'm not thinking about 10 things at once. Could I be dying? Is this what death feels like? Your thoughts just get smaller and smaller and you're only focusing on one thing until you see a white light? Anyway. Okay, I think I like this video. I'm gonna try and cover the rest of this thing. And you know what? Just as an experiment, go to my Patreon. I'll keep talking on there. I'll try to reveal something I didn't reveal in this video. I'm running out of personal things though, but I'm always talking on there for 15 to 30 minutes longer. And I'm gonna just collage for the last, so ladies, get your glue sticks out too. Cause mommy's gonna collage and mommy's pregnant. Yeah, so, will anybody watch? I'm gonna see a big viewer drop off here, but let's just be quiet. What do I think I'm doing, ASMR? God, what do I have, a savior complex? Now it's time for me to relax you. Anyone who does ASMR has like a little bit of a savior complex, right? They're like, they kind of think they're God. No, that's mean. But I do kind of think that's something, like anybody who does like guided meditations, I'm like, okay, I get it. Like you're relaxing people. You're some kind of wizard. Hi. ASMR collaging would not be very enjoyable. It's just... Glue sticks don't make that. You know what? I don't like this. I think that my pressure to entertain is not working for this. So I am going to turn off the video. First I'm going to sing the names of the people who pay me $30 a month on Patreon. So let's do that. And I hope you like this. Maybe I'll add one more thing. I feel bad cutting this woman's head off. She just seems too nice. What if, I mean, this is like a obvious joke, but she's like chilling out at home watching a movie with her friend and she goes, oh, my neck! What's wrong, honey? I don't know, I think a YouTuber's making a collage. What? Not saying she died, but like... And then what if I made fun of her? What if I'm like, oh my god, she's corny. And she goes, what's wrong, honey? Somebody hurt my feelings, but I can't see them. What do you mean? I think a YouTuber's making a collage video and he said that I was corny. This might be my most insane video. Oh, this is positive. Okay, what if this is a sign? What if this is a sign that you're watching this right now and I stumbled upon this in a magazine? It says, "You've got this." But now I'm getting paranoid because what if you were about to do something horrible? Like, what if you were about to hurt somebody and I'm like, "You've got this." That's why you should never give out too vague of a positive message. Like, never tweet, "You can do anything you want to do." Because what if, like, you know, the M word, an M word sees one of those. By M word, I mean murderer. I find murderer to be a slur. Okay, I just want to finish. This piece is now entitled, "You've Got This." By the way, when I went to Walmart the other day without my phone, this is my big story. I guess I had this moment, it's kind of an obvious thing to say, like you don't bring your device and all of a sudden you're like experiencing things like you're a baby or something. I'm like, wow, there's music and the people are making words with their mouths and there's a little boy and he's running around. But there was a dog in the self-checkout line, not by itself. That would be funny. Can you imagine? A dog's like, "Yeah, I got some wet food and you know what? I got a new plate. I'm sick of my bowl. I want to be a human." And isn't that funny? People always think it's funny when their dog acts like a human. It's like, I get it. Yeah, it thinks it's a human, it thinks you're a dog. Shut up! Once again, Mr. Grump. But, I was in the self-checkout line and there was a guy had a dog, which I think is kind of rude. Like, I'm not a scaredy cat, I'm not. But I'm a little bit afraid of a dog biting me because like they do bite people and everybody always says like, "Oh, he doesn't bite." And I'm like, "Yet?" Like you mean he hasn't bitten yet. That's, there's literally no way to ensure that. I get it though. But there was this like pug and it was barking and I just was having this moment like I said, like where I'm experiencing everything I would have missed, where there was a little boy in a shopping cart and he was looking at the dog and I was kind of like watching the boy look at the dog, and then the guy who was being barked at by the dog was going, "What is it? What's going?" As if he was talking to a dog. It was funny. Like, it was just like, it felt like I was watching a very naturalistic play where this kid was looking at and he was going, "Dog." And his dad was going, "That's right, dog." And he was going, "Dog." And then this old man was just about to be mauled by this dog, completely unfazed, just going, "Yeah, what happened? What is it? What happened? Oh, really? What happened?" And I was just like, man, but I still had my Bluetooth headphones on. For some reason, I'm just so attached to, literally, I don't walk into a restaurant with them, but sometimes I feel like a 10-year-old iPad kid where I'm just like, I'm not out here, I'm in here. Why am I calling myself a 10-year-old iPad kid? It's just me. I can't blame it on the 10-year-old iPad kids. I'm a 27-year-old, 26.7-year-old iPad kid. And that's the name of this song. which one if you want. Okay. I try so hard to be funny that I ruin things that are $2,000. No, she's fine. That's why we put a case on her. And yeah, no, that all worked out. Yeah, no scratches. Just, yeah. Thank you so much.